This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Jing Jamlang. On the Scorecard tonight, Alcaraz meets British underdog. Raducanu faces defending champ. Cruz makes history. Number 17 in the world, first Filipina to do it in youth table tennis. In PVL, Cignal stuns Creamline in straight sets, snaps a 3-year skid, remains unbeaten in the PVL on tour. In the WNBA, Fever win the Commissioner's Cup without Clark. Howard dominates as Indiana stuns the Lynx 74-59. And in the NBA, Duncan Robinson traded to the Pistons. The Bucks waive Lillard and sign Myles Turner in a free agency shakeup. And Anton Rojas goes up close with the College of St. Benilde's top setter, Chris Villanueva. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 2nd of July. Now here's our roundup. Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu continue to draw headlines both for their on-court campaigns and their upcoming mixed doubles pairing at the US Open, which has sparked dating rumors that continue to persist. But as Raducanu insists, they're just good friends. Right now, it's all business at Wimbledon. Alcaraz, the two-time defending champion, is currently facing British amateur Oliver Tarvet, ranked number 733 in the world. Tarvet, a 21-year-old student at the University of San Diego, stuns in his Grand Slam debut by advancing to the second round after a straight sets win in qualifying. However, he's facing a unique challenge off the court. To maintain his NCAA status, Tarvet can only keep about 7,300 pounds of his Wimbledon prize money, despite earning over 66,000 pounds so far. Alcaraz, meanwhile, is coming off a grueling 5-setter in his opening match and looks to regain form as he chases a third straight Wimbledon crown. Now on the women's side, Emma Raducanu takes on 2023 champion Marketa Vondroušová in a blockbuster second-round clash. Raducanu, now world number 37, is dealing with a nagging back issue that forced her to withdraw from the Berlin Open. Still, she's hoping to ride the energy of the home crowd, just like she did in her breakout 2021 run to the Wimbledon fourth round. Vondroušová comes in with momentum, having recently won the Berlin Open, her first title since her Wimbledon victory, and is now fully recovered from a long-standing shoulder injury. And while social media buzzes about Alcaraz and Raducanu's off-court connection, both are firmly locked in on their Wimbledon missions and ready to make noise on the grass. Kheith Rhynne Cruz, the teen sensation of Philippine table tennis, bags gold in mixed doubles, earns silver in singles, and rises to world number 17 in the youth rankings, the highest ever by a Filipino. Awarded at the World Table Tennis Youth Contender New York 2025 in Westchester, Cruz and her partner Aditya Sareen of Australia conquered the under-19 mixed doubles, outlasting India's Sudhanshu Maini and Prisha Goel in 4 tight sets. In the under-19 women's singles, Cruz powered through the group stage, then blitzed past rivals from Puerto Rico and the US before falling in a hard-fought final to Japan's Misuzu Takeya, 11-4, 11-13, 11-9, and 12-10. Her run included 4 straight wins leading to the final, highlighted by a dramatic 5-set semi-final victory over Irene Yeo of the US. Philippine Table Tennis Federation President Ting Ledesma praised Cruz, saying her hard work is paying off and she's making the country proud once again. Meanwhile, Cignal is back in a big way, and they just took down one of the league's giants to prove it. The Cignal HD Spikers just made a statement, breaking a 3-year dry spell against Creamline. Cignal swept the Cool Smashers 25-22, 25-18, 28-26 to stay perfect in the PVL at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center. It was Cignal's first win over Creamline since the 2022 Reinforced Conference, finally snapping an 8-match losing streak in the head-to-head battles. But it didn't come easy. Cignal nearly let the third set slip away after leading 24-21, only to watch Creamline erase the gap and force a deuce. Pool Smashers even saved 2 more match points before Aishi Lalong Isip took charge, delivering back-to-back clutch hits to seal the match and keep Cignal unbeaten at 3-0 in Pool B. Still, without dropping a single set in this preseason. Now on the other side, Michelle Gumabao was the lone bright spot for Creamline with 11 points and 7 digs, while Eliza Valdez added 9 points and 9 receptions. Gemma Galanza had 8 points, and new recruit Mitch Gamit scored 3 in her debut. Creamline dropped to 2-1 and absorbed their first straight set defeat since falling to Cherry Tigo in the 2024 All-Filipino Conference. Cignal now shifts focus to its next challenges in Pasig, Iloilo against Cherry Tigo on July 19 and Zeus Coffee on July 20, hoping to ride the momentum and extend their dream run. Meanwhile, a major move shakes U.S. college sports as UPenn bans transgender athletes from women's teams, following the controversy around swimmer Leah Thomas. In a landmark agreement with the U.S. Department of Education, the University of Pennsylvania admits violating Title IX for allowing Leah Thomas to compete in women's swimming in 2021 to 2022. As part of the settlement, UPenn will ban biological males from women's sports. They'll reinstate original female record holders and send personal apology letters to all affected athletes. The university will also issue a public statement affirming that males cannot compete in female athletic programs or access women's locker rooms.
The university will be sending a personal apology to every female athlete who was forced to compete against a man.
The NCAA titles Thomas won remain in place, but her name has been removed from UPenn's school records. The move follows a February executive order from President Trump threatening funding cuts to schools that do not enforce birth-based sex categories in athletics. Riley Gaines, who once tied Thomas in the 200-yard freestyle, called it a victory for dignity, safety, and fairness. Now, Cadillac isn't just joining Formula One, they're launching into it with NASA-inspired precision, and they're on a mission to shake up the grid by 2026. With just over 11 months since their entry was approved, Cadillac is racing against time to design, build, and test their first F1 car ahead of the 2026 season opener in Australia. Their operation spans 2 continents, with a massive base in Fisheries, Indianapolis, and a high-tech facility near Silverstone. Already buzzing with over 600 team members, the team is also preparing its own power unit through General Motors facilities in Michigan and Charlotte. The driver lineup is, as you can imagine, still under wraps, but with names like Bottas and Perez in the mix, experience won't be lacking. The goal is clear: get to the grid and bring an American edge to the world of F1. Moving on to Major League Baseball, the Snakes struck hard and early, blasting 4 home runs and riding Zach Gallen's masterclass to crush the Giants 8-2 in Arizona. After a weekend to forget, the Diamondbacks came roaring back, taking Game 2 of the series behind an electric night from their ace and a home run derby from the lineup. Jake McCarthy, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Randall Grichuk, and James McCann all went yard as Arizona improved to 11-2 when they hit 3 or more bombs in a game. Zach Gallen was in full control, fanning 10 batters in 7 strong innings, allowing just 1 earned run, no walks, and finishing his outing with 4 perfect frames. The momentum shifted when Alec Thomas nailed Rafael Devers at the plate to end the third, sparking a run of 8 unanswered runs from the D-backs. Gurriel homered in back-to-back games, Grichuk launched a 453-foot bomb, and McCann delivered his first long ball in an Arizona uniform. All 9 starters reached base as the D-backs put together a complete game on both sides of the ball. With the win, Arizona moves to 43-42, just 3 games back of the NL wildcard, and looking to carry this momentum into the second half. No Caitlin Clark? No problem. The Indiana Fever shocked the top-seeded Minnesota Lynx 74-59 to capture the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, with Natasha Howard leading the charge on both ends. The Fever overcame a 13-point deficit in Clark's absence to deliver a gutsy lockdown win against the best team in the league. Natasha Howard earned MVP honors with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and a defensive clinic that held Lynx star Napheesa Collier to just 12 points on 6 of 18 shooting. Sophie Cunningham added 13 points, including 3 clutch triples, while Aaliyah Boston, Ari McDonald, and Kelsey Mitchell chipped in 12 each for a balanced attack. Indiana turned the game around with an 18-0 run to close the second quarter, holding Minnesota scoreless for over 8 minutes. The Fever's defense forced 16 turnovers, and the Lynx struggled from beyond the arc, going just 4 of 16 after averaging nearly 10 makes per game. Minnesota had won last year's Commissioner's Cup and entered with a 14-2 record, but fell for the first time at home this season. The Fever made a statement. They're not just riding hype, they're ready to fight for wins. Now in the NBA, free agency just got interesting, with big moves already shaping the future of several franchises. Duncan Robinson, the Miami Heat's all-time leader in three-pointers, is heading to Detroit. The former Wolverine returns to Michigan after agreeing to a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Pistons in a sign-and-trade that sends Simone Fontecchio to Miami. Robinson, an undrafted gem who helped the Heat to 2 NBA Finals runs, now brings his shooting back to where his college journey ended. Meanwhile, in a move nobody saw coming, the Milwaukee Bucks waived Damian Lillard to clear the way for a new front court piece. The Bucks have signed center Myles Turner to a 4-year deal worth $107 million, pairing him with Giannis Antetokounmpo to form a new-look Twin Towers combo. Lillard, recovering from an Achilles injury, will still be paid through the NBA's stretch provision and can now choose his next destination on his own terms. Turner, who spent a decade in Indiana, recently helped the Pacers to the finals, leaves behind a team dealing with the loss of Tyrese Halliburton for the upcoming season. Big names moving, surprising decisions being made, and free agency is just getting started. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What 3-word phrase do skiers shout before launching off a massive jump, hucking a cliff drop, or flying down a double black diamond, all in the name of adrenaline? Send it. In ski culture, send it means going all in, full speed, no hesitation, especially when attempting a bold or risky move. It's not just about being fearless, it's about committing. In skiing, hesitation can lead to disaster. So, next time you're staring down that steep run or eyeing a big jump, remember what ski legends say: just send it. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signs NBA's richest deal. Locked in with Thunder until 2031, Shai is staying, and he's getting paid like a king. Fresh off delivering Oklahoma City in its first NBA title in franchise history, Finals MVP and scoring machine Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just penned a jaw-dropping 4-year, $285 million extension, setting a new NBA record for highest annual salary. Cha-ching! The 26-year-old Canadian sensation is now tied to the Thunder until 2031, with the final year of his deal paying a mind-blowing $78.7 million. Whew. His new average salary of $71.25 million per season blasts past the likes of Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum, rewriting the financial playbook in the league. It's a well-deserved payday for a player who owned the 2024-25 season, leading OKC to a 68-win campaign in a gritty 7-game finals triumph over the Indiana Pacers. SGA averaged 32.7 points in that regular season and 30.3 in the finals, joining a legendary club with Kareem, MJ, and Shaq as the only players to win both regular season MVP, finals MVP, and the scoring title in the same year. Unbelievable. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 2nd of July. Up next, Anton Rojas goes up close with the College of St. Benilde's top setter, Kheith Villanueva. So better keep it here on the Scorecard. Welcome back to the Scorecard. He is the College of St. Benilde's top setter who believes that putting a premium on trust is what sets the tone for a great team play. Get to know more about Kheith Villanueva with Anton Rojas.
We are here right now with the starting setter of the Benilde Blazers men's volleyball team, Kheith Villanueva. Kheith, maraming salamat sa oras.
Thank you po.
Kheith, tiga saan ka ba at paano nag-start yung volleyball journey mo?
Ako po ay taga Lipa, Batangas. Then nag-start po yung journey ko sa volleyball since grade 5 po sa Del sa Lipa.
Okay.
And may nakita po aming bola na stuck po sa bubong, parang kinuha lang po namin. Tapos doon po nagdire-diretso, naglaro po kami. Tapos may dumating po na coach ng volleyball. Parang in-invite po kami. Gusto daw po namin i-try na mag-volleyball. Then yun po, doon na po nagdire-diretso.
So yung bolang na-stuck sa bubong, volleyball yon.
Ako po, volleyball.
Pero before volleyball, were you playing other sports?
Hindi po.
So it's always been volleyball?
Always volleyball.
Okay. So from that moment, tuloy-tuloy na.
Ako po, since grade 5 up to now.
Now from De La Salle pa, paano ka naman na-recruit sa college? Were you just recruited by Benilde or meron ba mga ibang schools na nag-recruit sa'yo or nag-try out ka?
Yung una po, parang pandemic po kasi nun. So wala pa pong masyadong open tryout sa mga ibang school. Then yung may kailala po akong coach sa Lipa na former San Beda Main, Menjola. Parang dun po ako unang napunta, nabigyan po ako ng scholarship ng lahat po. Nakapag-stay po ako dun ng 2 weeks. Then, yung former teammate ko po na si Kuya Vince Maglinaw po, na nasa DLSU po ngayon, na graduating na po. Parang tinawagan po ako na parang pumunta po ako sa training ng DLSU dahil same coach naman po ang Benilde at saka DLSU na si Coach Arnold, ganyan po. Na parang pinaglaro po ako sa DLSU na parang setter, nag-set po ako sa kanila. Then parang nagustuhan naman po ni Coach Arnold, then in-offeran po ako. Tapos lumiyot po ako ng Benilde.
So siguro naisip niya na, baka mas magagamit ka dito sa Benilde at mas aangat yung chances.
Nagtiwala lang po sa akin si Coach Arnold na ilagay po dito sa Benilde. So edi nagtuloy-tuloy naman po. May nangyari naman po maganda sa team.
Kheith, were you always a setter?
Yes po, always a setter. Pero one time po nung grade 5 ako, nagstaka po kami. Nung on the point po na ongoing na po yung game, ginawa po ang libero.
Okay.
Nang game lang po na yun. Tapos setter na po dire-diretso after nung stakaan na yan. Nung grade 6 up to now, setter po.
It's always a challenge na pag yung setter hindi masyado katangkaran. And ano ba ang height mo?
Height ko po nasa 5'9".
5'9". So is that average height pagdating sa mga setters sa NC? Or would you consider yourself on the smaller side?
On the smaller side po. Kasi po ang binabantayan po ng side namin, mga setter, is yung open, yung parang main man po ng kabilang team.
Yes.
So parang mas lugi po para sa akin na maliit po yung setter.
So paano ka nag-a-adjust nun? And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because historically dito sa Pilipinas, meron tayong mga magagaling na setters na yun nga, hindi naman katangkaran like say on the women's side, Michelle Cobb, Jem Ferrer, na talagang yung mechanics pagdating sa blocking, lalo na si Michelle Cobb, may kita mo talaga pag nag-bend siya, talagang ang baba, tas aangat, tas halos kasing taas niya tumalon yung katabi niya na blocker. So, ikaw, how do you, kumbaga, yung diskarte mo as a setter?
Sa akin naman po, ano lang po, nakikinig lang po ako kina coach kung ano po yung mga tinuturo sa akin, yung pag-timing po sa blockings. And syempre po, kahit hindi man po nakaka-block masyado, ibinabawi ko naman po sa diskarte at saka po sa depensa sa baba.
Sino ba mga in-idolize mo na setter growing up?
Growing up, si Kuya Wayne Marco po at saka si Kuya Joshua Reto Marco.
Okay. Ano yung nakita mo sa laro ni Wayne at ni Joshua na ina-apply mo na sa sarili mong setting style?
Yung sa akin po, yung kay Kuya Wayne Marco po na yung pag-bump po ng kamay, yung once po na, may nakita po kasi isang video niya na break ball na po yung bola, nandito na po sa tuck line. Then, parang may play po siya na B-tres. Kumagat pa rin po yung middle kumagat pa din po yung blocker sa middle. Okay. Yun po, doon po ako namangha na ganun po pala yung tamang pagsaset.
Yung kay Joshua Reto?
Kay Joshua Retomar naman po, yung paghabol po sa quick, yung may ano po siya, may video po siya na nasa perpetual binyan pa po siya na parang yung sa high Q, yung sinabol po niya sa quicker na break ball na po dito sa may part ng zone 2, hinabol niya pa po sa big quick. Tsaka po yung mga diskarte po niya na iniwan lang po yung kamay niya, tapos titik na po agad.
Kanino ka pinaka na-challenge? Player tsaka team? Oh, like halimbawa, pag alam mong, halimbawa, setter on the opposing side, pag alam mong ito yung katapat mo na setter, talagang ginaganahan ka na, oy, we have to win this game.
Ano po, yung sa Letran po, si Wayne Aranyo. Ayan, si Wayne Aranyo. Gawa po ng same height siguro, then yun po, same height, tapos nakakalaro na din po minsan. And parang if nakakalaro po sa labas, parang siya po yung lagi nananalo. So, parang doon po ako na-challenge niya, parang mas kailangan ko pa pong higitan siya.
Would you say na may konting rivalry kayong dalawa?
Siguro po kasi for me po parang sa height. Yun, sa mga doon na parang dito sa diskarte na lang po kami magkakatalo. Tsaka po siya po ay parang nasa rank 2 as a setter po.
Kamusta naman, Chris, yung connection mo with your top 2 scorer, si Rocky tsaka si Jacob? Paano nyo na-develop yung chemistry? And kasi syempre, importante yan na yung mga klase ng set na binibigay mo sa kanila, yung tipong gusto talaga nila para mapalo nila na maayos.
Siguro po nagtitiwala lang po ako sa kanila. Once po naibigay ko, tiwalang-tiwala po ako sa kanila na kaya nilang pumatay. If ever man po na hindi, nandun po kami sa likod ng mga team, nakasupport po, naka-coverage po kami.
Ano ba tinitake mo na course dito sa Benilde?
Tinitake ko po is BSREM, Bachelor of Science in Real Estate Management.
Real Estate Management, okay. So if not volleyball, ano sa tingin mo yung gusto mong gawin sa buhay?
Siguro yung yung maging isang licensed broker na din po. Yung kinukuha ko pong course. Magbebenta po ng mga kondo, mga lupa. Para po
okay.
makatulungan din po sa kanya.
Oh, yun yung unang nakaka-ipon ng 1 milyon lalo na pag maraming nabenta Okay. Lastly, Chris, ano yung pinaka-importanting lesson na natutunan mo? Paano nakatulong yung sport na to sa buhay mo, as a person, and of course, having that sport that you can always go back to and play when things aren't going your way mentally in your life?
Yung banding po ng team namin. Siguro po yun po yung naging isang magandang lesson po sa akin. Yung parang parang madami po akong naging kaibigan, madami po akong nakikilalang tao. Parang napapakita ko po yung personality ko sa iba, yung nailalabas ko po kung sino po ako, kung ano po yung tunay kong ugali, yung mga ganun po. Nandun na po yung samahan nyo as a team. Yun po yung isang magandang lesson para sa akin. And yung tiwala po talaga. Yun po talaga yung para sa akin.
Alright, well, thank you so much, Chris, for sharing your story, and all the best in your career here in the NCAA and beyond. Thank you so much.
Thank you po. Thank you.
Up next, two teams, one spotlight. Aja Wilson's been unstoppable, but Indiana's hungry to prove they're more than just the Caitlin Clark show. With or without their star, the Fever aren't backing down. Who rises under the lights? Who stumbles under pressure? We're about to find out. So, keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. Now it's time to keep your eyes on the prize. All right, buckle up. The Las Vegas Aces come to Indianapolis, and let's be honest, they're not just visiting. They're looking to make a statement. This is a team that's been floating around the 500 mark, but when Aja Wilson starts stacking double-doubles and historic nights, the rest of the league should be worried. And now they face a Fever squad, still missing Caitlin Clark, still trying to find their identity. Indiana comes off a statement win of their own. No Clark, no problem. They bullied the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, held Nafisa Collier in check, and got big-time contributions from Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Aaliyah Boston, you name it. But here's the thing, this isn't the Lynx. This is Vegas. This is Aja Wilson. Without Clark, the Fever have to scrap, clamp down, and control tempo. That means smart shot selection, strong side-to-side ball movement, and Boston getting buckets early to open up the floor. Meanwhile, Las Vegas isn't dominant, but they're showing signs. Aja just dropped 26-18 against Phoenix, and oh, by the way, tied Lisa Leslie for the most 25 to 15 games in WNBA history. Jackie Young's coming alive. Jewel Lloyd is doing just enough. And let's not forget Chelsea Gray's passing took over late in their last game. This team isn't just talented, they're tested, and they're starting to remember who they are. Look, let's not overcomplicate this, all right? The game turns on the front court duel. Aja Wilson versus Aaliyah Boston. If Wilson can impose her will early, control the boards, and force Boston into foul trouble, it's lights out for Indy. But if Boston holds her own and the Fever get Cunningham, Howard, and Mitchell to hit shots, this one stays close until the final minute. Now, if Clark is cleared and plays even limited minutes, Fever have a puncher's chance. But if she's out again, I'm taking Aja. And the Aces, just too much firepower, too much experience, and I've got this one shaping up as an 82-74 finish, but hey, anything can happen. Stay ahead of the game as the WNBA race heats up. Here's your full court breakdown for Friday's showdown. And that's a wrap on our Aces Fever preview. The lights are bright, the pressure's real. Tune in, lock in, and as always, keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. Rising from humble beginnings in the Bahamas to become a top NBA draft pick in 2025, VJ Edgecombe once said, "For 7 years, we lived off a generator, but my mom never gave up. And now I carry her strength with me to the NBA." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport. On the Bilyonaryo News channel, this is Jing Jamlang. Have a blessed evening.